Hey guys, welcome back to Margot Watches Movies. How are you feeling? Are you reeling like I am after what was possibly the greatest episode in the entire run of Invincible? Possibly one of the best episodes I've watched in television in a long time. One of the best television episodes ever. Is that too bold to say after what I just witnessed? I don't know. You tell me. That's how I'm feeling right now. I am high off of the thrills of this episode. This was a complete and total television masterpiece, firing on all fronts, both spectacle, interpersonal, family relationship, drama, genuine moments of sincere emotion. This had everything you could want in an hour of television. I don't even know where to go first. I assume if you're like me, you're still reeling from that jaw-dropping ending, the brutality, the shock of seeing Mark literally, never release till the very end as he's getting disemboweled by Conquest? Or do I focus on what was one of the greatest scenes in the history of Invincible between Omni Man, Nolan, and Debbie, his wife of 20 years, who I mean, beyond betrayal, he called her his pet. And I don't really know where to focus first because both that's the spectacle, the fight in space was so like tension filled, watching through my fingers, out of breath, almost holding my breath. The stakes, Oliver almost getting his head popped, wondering are they really going there, like real genuine fear that they're about to kill off his character I've grown fondly to. Or Debbie getting what's been 3 seasons worth of anger and hurt in the betrayal that Nolan gave her, trying to get over him, and Nolan selfishly kind of interjecting himself to try and get an apology to appease his own guilt and regret. I think I'm going to focus first on the ending because that's probably where everyone's at. The fight in space between Mark, Nolan, Oliver, Zoe, a very nice new character, a wonderful addition. I liked her quite a bit. And obviously, Alan the alien versus the three Viltrumite was everything that Invincible has made its brand on. Just exhilarating, thrill-seeking fights with high stakes, the absolute threat of beloved characters dying, culminating in this fantastic showdown between Mark and Conquest as he strangles him across an entire planet, never letting go despite Conquest beating him bloody, disemboweling him in the most brutal scene I've watched in this entire show, which is a very brutal and gory show. That scene was hard to watch. It was making me want to bite down on my teeth and clench my fists. It was spectacular. It was brutal. It was devastating. And where the episode leaves us with Mark having killed Conquest in this kind of bittersweet moment of triumph while literally losing his insides as Conquest slowly, as you see, it's like a really great tell of how close Conquest is getting to dying as his hand is slowing down. He's still pulling out his small intestines. God, it was brutal. And finally, like the last pull, and Mark in agonizing pain still holding on to this dude's neck to put this universe threat level down. I mean, spectacular, spectacular action, storytelling, set piece. They can't kill Invincible, right? I genuinely don't know how Mark can come back from that. His entire insides were out, still clenched in Conquest's unalived hand. How do you come back from that without Cecil, without the ship? Where do they go? How do they rehabilitate him with war on the horizon? I don't know. And they really need to pick up next week immediately there because we don't get to see the aftermath as Nolan and Oliver, father and son, discover their son, their brother, on his last breath. You have to jump right back into that. Let's not do some side quest episode next week back on Earth Let's go right back into that action. It is too good. There's too much anticipation that's going to be building all week. How or the hell are they going to pull this out? How is Mark going to pull it out? Right. And now let's jump back to the beginning of the episode as well, because there was a scene in here, as I've pointed out already, the confrontation between Nolan and Debbie, seasons worth of storytelling building to this moment. Something I mentioned in my review last week. I hope that she got a moment to tell him, and boy did she. And it's the voice acting here from Sandra Oh of Grey's Anatomy fame, who gives possibly the best performance of her career in voice acting. Just 3 minutes of sensational emotion and anger, just unleashing and devastating Nolan. And he deserves it, right? Because that's something that this show has taken a big swing at, where in the first season they took Nolan, and at the end of that finale where he, I mean, genocided people on Earth, called his wife of 20 years his pet, tried to kill his son. How do you take a character like that and try and redeem them? Something that is completely and utterly irredeemable. That's a massive thematic risk, is when you're trying to tell a story like this. And they've attempted to, very subtly and slowly over the last couple of years, to try and earn at least just a little bit of sympathy back from Nolan. And they've gotten us to the point, especially, the episode with Nolan and Alan, where they're going around, like, Nolan obviously has grown. He's changed from who he was at the start of this show, but he comes back to Earth with this in mind, expecting, I don't know what he was expecting. Was he expecting like a welcome home? Was he just expecting people to hear a pleading apology and just immediately forgive him? I don't know. But what he gets from Debbie is vitriol, justified vitriol and anguish, as she punches his chest, and it's Omni-Man. So I think she breaks her hand punching him. No, Nolan, you don't get to apologize for this. Telling him to get the fuck out of the house. Like, this was one of those scenes that there's no action, there's no fighting, but it's as powerful as anything the show has ever done. And for an animated show to be delivering a scene of this caliber with this type of emotion, as it's just animated and pure, like, just unbelievable voice acting. And J.K. Simmons was a great scene partner to Sandra Oh, really letting her shine, restraining himself, realizing he was like a dog with his tail tucked between his legs, offering up this half-assed, sincere but half-assed apology, and her just laying into him. This was cathartic on so many levels. It was payoff in pure form. It was just, they didn't subvert and cut it short. They let you, the audience, just soak in this phenomenal scene and soak in all the emotions. They let it marinate. And it's unbelievable payoff. It's an unbelievable scene. And it's one of, if not the best scenes of Invincible, removing, these jaw-dropping action set pieces. So after that scene, you have Mark, you have Eve, there's all these connections that were building up, where I was wondering, like, is this going to be a calm before the storm episode? And I still think you could remove that unbelievable action set piece at the end, and this would still be a powerful and remarkable hour of television, because the human relationships, the drama that they leverage from that, the storytelling they utilize there, from the dinner scene of all five of them having one last dinner before they go off into space for war with the Viltrumites, Mark and Eve having their moments, the hugs at the end, Oliver getting a chance to express how, yes, I am going to help wage this war. I lost my planet. I lost my mother. I'm not losing another planet. I'm not losing another mother. You have all of these extremely well-crafted moments leading into this trip into space, and the addition of Zoe, who got, like, her intro scene was cute, and it was a nice palate cleanser after that just highly emotional scene between Nolan and Mark's mother. And I thought she was a great, like, quirky, fun addition to the cast. I'm curious to see, where it leaves with her and Alan the alien, like the little friendship that may blossom between them. She's a cute character. So, um, and as they're in space and the attack happens, all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, we've had this good of an episode, and now we're getting a Viltrumite fight. Like, this was as 10 out of a 10 of an episode as you can get from a television show. This is one of the easiest grades I'll ever give. If you couldn't tell from my supreme glazing all the way through this review, this is obviously a 10 out of 10 episode. This is a top 25, top 50 episode in the history of television for my money. And I've watched a lot of great shows, people. I've watched them all. I've watched them all. And this is up there with the best. So, wow, what a powerful hour of television. I'm still reeling from it. How will next week pick up from what this episode accomplished? Wow. So, with that breath, we will close this review out. I'd love to get a like or hear your thoughts in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this episode? This is as peak gets, people. So, I'd love to know what you guys thought. Subscribe if you enjoyed the review. We'll be posting these Invincible reviews until the season is over. My God, absolutely peak television. That's all for me. I got nothing more to say. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. I'm Jake Margot with Margot Watches Movies. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.